My name is LEEYONGJIE with matrix number of 156359, and now I'm going to discuss about a pump design. First of all, a pump is a device that moves liquid or gases by mechanical actions. All pumps will consist of three parts, which are inlet, outlet, and casing. So during the pump operates, the liquid will enter the pump through inlet, which can be considered as suction side. At this time, the pressure of the liquid in the suction side is the lowest, whereas the liquid will leave the pump through the outlet, which can be defined as a discharge side. On this moment, the pressure of the liquid is highest at this point. Basically, pumps can be grouped into two categories, which are positive displacement pump and dynamic pump. A positive displacement pump makes a fluid move by trapping a fixed amount of the fluid and forcing or displacing the trapped volume into a discharge pipe or discharge system. Whereas the dynamic pump imparts velocity and pressure to the fluid as it moves past through the pump impeller and will convert some of the velocity into additional pressure. And it is also called as kinetic pumps. Overall, these pumps operate by developing high liquid velocity and converting the velocity to pressure in a diffusing low passage. Next, we will move on to the criteria for pump selection. We select the pump based on these 6 criteria, which are the type of fluid used, flow rate, pressure, viscosity, density, and temperature. We have to clearly understand what liquid we are used so that we can avoid potential corrosion and abrasion issues. This will allow us to ensure that we offer a pump constructed from the compatible materials. For the flow rate, a higher flow rate will require a larger pump. Knowing the pressure you are pumping against will allow us to select the most suitable pump technology. For the viscosity, a liquid with higher viscosity are usually requiring positive displacement units running at a lower speeds rather than centrifugal pump solutions. For densities, the density of pumping liquid at the operating temperature will affect how much power is required to achieve the required duty. And finally, for the temperature, it can affect the materials of construction for the pump and the type of pump offered. These are the terms of the equation from the pump design. The first one is static suction head, HSS or ZS, which can be considered as the vertical distance from the water line to the center line of the impeller. If the liquid level is above the pump center line, the ZS will be positive, whereas if the liquid level line is below the pump center line, the ZS will be negative. The next one is static discharge head, HSD or ZD. It is the vertical distance from the discharge outlet to the point of discharge or liquid level when discharging into the bottom of a water tank. Move on to vapor pressure head, H vapor. It is vapor pressure at which a liquid exists in equilibrium at a given temperature. The next one is surface pressure head, HP, is equal to P overall, the P absolute on the surfaces. And the velocity H, HV, is equal to V2 over 2G, whereas G is the gravitational force. The HV is the liquid energy due to the motion. Friction head, HF, is the head required to overcome the resistance to flow in the pipe or fittings. It is dependent on the size or the type of the pipe and fittings. The total or dynamic suction head HS is equal to static suction head plus surface pressure of suction head plus velocity of suction head minus frictional suction head. Whereas for the total or dynamic discharge head HD is equal to static discharge head plus the surface pressure of discharge head plus the velocity of discharge head and plus friction of discharge head. So the total head will HT will equal to the total or dynamic discharge head HT minus total or dynamic suction head HS. One of the applications of the pumps in industry is wastewater pumps. Basically, the type of pump used in wastewater treatment transportation are usually centrifugal pump. This is because they can be easily installed in the pits and the sumps of the wastewater treatment station. The main purpose of wastewater pump is to transport the heavily contaminated water which contains solid particles of various organics, inorganics, and mineral origins. These pumps are made of steel so that it can avoid the corrosion. In addition, wastewater pumps are generally not self-priming. They are completely submerged in the fluid handled. That's all from me. Thank you.